The ASEAN Declaration was a short, simply worded document containing just 5 articles. It declared the establishment of an association for regional cooperation among the countries of Southeast Asia to be known as the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or the ASEAN, and spelled out the aims and purposes of that association. Now, we have 5 parts. First is the treaty overview. Second is pertinent provisions. Third, significance. Fourth, international community. And lastly, news articles. The ASEAN Declaration, also known as the Bangkok Declaration, is the founding document of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. It was signed in Bangkok on August 8, 1967 by the 5 ASEAN founding members, which are the Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. The ASEAN Declaration came into being for several key reasons. First is shared interest and challenges, aspiration for peace, freedom, social justice, and economic prosperity, regional stability and protection against external forces, response to communist expansion, and mitigating regional tensions. So now, we have the Article 2 of the ASEAN Declaration. To better understand this, let's watch this video first.
What is ASEAN? The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN for short, is an association that today consists of 10 Southeast Asian states. In 1967, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Singapore founded ASEAN. The aim was to improve economic, political, and social cooperation, and also to balance political conflicts between these countries that existed as a consequence of decolonization. During Cold War, ASEAN members wanted to contain the influence of communism in the region. Times changed. Old enemies became new partners, and in the second half of the 1990s, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Cambodia joined ASEAN. The collapse of the USSR, the founding of the World Trade Organization, and a financial crisis in Asia prompted members to deepen their relations and adapt to the new situation. In the 2000s, free trade agreements were concluded with India, China, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan. In the future, the entire region will be merged into one large free trade zone. Since 2001, the ASEAN Summit takes place annually. It is a meeting of the heads of state and government where current problems are discussed and solutions are worked out. In 2008, the ASEAN Charter came into force, giving the association the status of a legal person. Principles of non-intervention and consensual decision-taking remained unchanged by the Charter. Decisions are generally made by consensus. No member can be forced to something. As a result, the group rarely appears to be closed. Nowadays. Today, ASEAN is based on 3 pillars. As a political and security community to ensure peace, as an economic community with a strong domestic market, and as a social and cultural community, including a common identity. Challenges and solutions. ASEAN faces a number of social and environmental challenges. Countries such as Vietnam or the Philippines are particularly vulnerable to climate change and already feel its impact today. Problem: coal production. Nevertheless, member states plan to meet the energy demand by making primarily use of climate-damaging coal. Indonesia plans to build 117 new coal-fired power plants by 2025. Myanmar invests in gigantic hydroelectric power plants and coal. Laos builds dams on the Mekong. The result is that Vietnam loses water in the Mekong Delta. However, fossil fuels, for example, are not necessary to cover the lack of energy. Renewable energy sources ranging from biomass to solar energy and wind power have enormous potentials in the region. They too would promote the local economy and provide sustainable jobs. Problem: the haze. Large areas of precious rainforest are burnt down for palm oil plantations and cattle feed cultivation all over Indonesia. The smog of these fires covers large parts of Indonesia, Singapore, and Malaysia. Pollution continues, even though in 2003 a smog agreement in the ASEAN came into force, which should reduce forest fires, environmental degradation, and air pollution. As such problems cross borders, ASEAN must tackle them in a joint effort and think beyond borders. This can be done, for example, by taking up the suggestions made by CSOs, civil society organizations, aiming at installing a fourth pillar, the environmental pillar. It must ensure that the ecological limits are taken into account in the growth debate. Only in case civil society is informed transparently and gets much more involved, acting free from state repression, social and environmental justice can arise. Serve people rather than profit.
So as you can see in the video, it summarizes the Article 2 of the ASEAN Declaration, which states how members of the ASEAN help each other in terms of economy, peace and security, social and cultural development. Since nowadays, climate change is rampant mostly in Asian countries. That's why ASEAN's critical environmental concerns are being prioritized, such as climate change, air pollution, biodiversity conservation, water resources management, coastal and marine environment, chemicals and waste, sustainable cities, and environmental education. Bangkok Declaration has 5 signatories, which are the countries of Republic of Indonesia, Malaysia, the Republic of the Philippines, the Republic of Singapore, and lastly, the Kingdom of Thailand. The Republic of the Philippines is one of the signatories of the Bangkok Declaration, which was signed by then Secretary of Foreign Affairs Narcisco Ramos.
ASEAN was established in 1967 by countries of Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Malaysia. These nations came together during a challenging time in Southeast Asia's history, aiming to create unity, boost economic growth, and bring stability to the region. The Thai Foreign Ministry played a crucial role in starting this alliance. At the time, Southeast Asia was facing geopolitical tensions and dealing with the aftermath of colonial rule. The founding nations realized the importance of working together despite their differences to overcome these challenges. They wanted to build a trust, understanding, and collaboration among themselves. As ASEAN evolved over the years, its influence expanded. It became a platform for member states to engage in diplomatic discussions, promote economic cooperation, and share their diverse cultures. The inclusion of additional countries like Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Cambodia demonstrated ASEAN's commitments. Today, ASEAN consists of 10 member nations with diverse backgrounds and cultures. It continues to play a significant role as a forum for dialogue, negotiation, and collective actions. Through cooperation, ASEAN addresses common issues and explores opportunities for the benefit of Southeast Asia and beyond. Today, ASEAN is a key player in regional diplomacy, playing a vital role in promoting dialogue and collaboration among its members, as well as with other nations and regional groups around the globe. The association represents the collective will of nations of Southeast Asia to bind themselves together in friendship and cooperation and through joint efforts and sacrifices. secure for their peoples and for posterity the blessings of peace, freedom, and prosperity. Its key provisions include mutual respect for member states, sovereignty, non-interference in internal affairs, peaceful conflict resolutions, collaborative efforts across various domains, regional solidarity, promotion of peace and stability, and adherence to international law and principle. Proclamation number 204, 1993, declaring August 8 to 14 every year, henceforth as ASEAN Week. Fidel V. Ramos, former President of the Philippines, by virtue of the powers vested in him by the law, proclaimed August 8 to 14 every year as ASEAN Week. Administrative Order Number 17, constituting the National Organizing Council for the Philippines, hosting of the Association to the Southeast Asian Nations Summit meeting in 2026, defining its mandates, the powers and functions, and for the other purposes. The ASEAN Declaration indeed holds significant importance on the international stage, particularly in fostering peace, stability, and economic growth in the Southeast Asia. Its emphasis on the principles such as non-interference, peaceful conflict resolutions, and cooperation has played a crucial role in maintaining relatively peaceful relations among member states and promoting regional development. However, the consensus-based approach of ASEAN, while promoting unity among member states, can also represent challenges, particularly when it comes to taking decisive actions on critical issues. Because decisions must be made by consensus, even a single member's objection can stall or hinder progress on important matters. This can sometimes lead to delays in addressing pressing regional concerns or responding effectively to crises. Moreover, ASEAN faces disparities in development among its member states, which can complicate efforts to achieve shared goals and aspirations. Economic gaps between more developed countries like Singapore and less developed ones like Cambodia or Laos can strain efforts toward economic integration and hinder the realization of equitable growth and development across the region. Additionally, ASEAN has faced criticism for its sometimes slow response to regional crises, whether by natural disaster, humanitarian emergencies, or political conflicts. The organization's commitment to non-interference and respect for sovereignty can sometimes lead to a reluctance to intervene in the internal affairs of member states, even when human rights abuses or other violators occurs. Despite these challenges, ASEAN remains an essential force for regional cooperation and diplomacy in Southeast Asia. Its ability to foster dialogue, build trust, and promote mutual understanding among member states continues to be vital in maintaining peace and stability in the region. As ASEAN adapts to evolving geopolitical dynamics and addresses internal disparities, it will likely continue to play a significant role in shaping the future of Southeast Asia. For the news article, Secretary-General of ASEAN to attend World Economic Forum's special meeting on global collaboration, growth and energy for development in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, April 26, 2024. Philippine President vows to defend territory after the latest maritime clash, December 23, 2024.